Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included. I am on hard mode of Oasis, very hot asteroid, surviving decently well, working on getting all achievements. Carnivore achievement is out of the way. And what I'd like to focus on today is to get a, okay, let me just take this. I want to get a cooling system for my refinery. Instead of dumping hot liquid from this metal refinery into here. So far, the temperatures is still decent. In fact, this is probably what's been maintaining the cool temperatures at the base. But that's not going to be the case if I keep producing metal. I want to automate the stables, and I can do that with some of the lead that I've gotten last time. Thanks to going into this zone, pulling out some of the lead. We're going to have some egg retrieval systems from in this stable. And I just popped in here quickly because I want to put in an auto sweeper that can access the floor down here. We've got some critters that are kind of in the way. Don't want to get them trapped. If we can move, maybe he'll move in the morning. But yeah, but we'll address that. The other thing is, okay, the metal refinery cooling system is going to go in here. The general base cooling system, the deep freezer for storing our food, very important stuff is going to be built today. Let me just take a look at Explore. I don't 100% know what Explorer's plan is going to be. Their stress is a little bit high, so I'm hoping by the end of today that will be a little bit lower than it is at the moment. See that they're not actually producing some thimbleweed at the moment. Let's just look at some of the water. Okay, this guy not do anything. We dried up that. Oh, okay. We'll take some water from that, and we'll make some reed fiber from that with this in place. Let's see about. Okay, that's going to reach perfectly right there. So I decided to change the priorities to, I was just going to focus on getting eggs out because I was getting tired of clicking on eggs and saying come down to this section. But I'm not only going to automate that process, but I'm also going to automate the restocking of critters back in, as well as automating the conversion to meat. I'll do that in the case of the Draco. Another priority here is I'm noticing hydrogen is really high. That's actually a good sign from energy production, but not a good sign from the ability to breathe right now. It's not a problem. And that hydrogen isn't spilling up this way too much from what I can see. We do have hydrogen pump to handle things if that does happen. But yeah, it's important to get this guy back in line. There we go. So let's just cut this right there. Let's put that along like that. That resolves the hydrogen issue. We'll put in our automation, or our little hatch in here. I haven't decided how many hatches I'm going to have. Let's just at least put in the logic to be able to control whether we need to wrangle or not. We'll get this pip stable. I think I'm going to do the pip automation egg in automation over here. We're going to come to that a little bit later. For now, we're just going to dump eggs that pile up in this room, unless these guys are crowded. Oh, they are. So I will take a moment then to get 1, maybe 2 eggs out at high priority, and then we'll continue on. So we only have 1 dupe or actually we might have 2 dupes that can build mechatronics-based stuff. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Speaking of which, let's pause it. Let's look at priorities. That would be Courier has that ability. They're already focusing on building. And Engineer. Let's up Engineer's focus on building. Let's have a look over here. Still stressed, 64%. Digging out this area. And exploring up here, hopefully in such a way that we stay warm. Kind of curious what this geyser is. So that will keep Explorer busy. See, that is starting to fill to the top. We were having a problem with automation. I think now that I've got water underneath that fish trap, we're no longer having this issue. So that'll be nice. let's put in a priority of getting this little section done because we want to get some water in there. There we go. Dupe's working at it. This is going to be for hatch. Oh wait, I want to make that 0. Yep. So they start wrangling right away as long as we get a true signal. And let's start dumping in some water. And because I see just mechatronic stuff, I think I'm going to give a few tasks for the other dupes to do. But before I do that, maybe it might be smart just to automate or increase the priority of this. So the few dupes that, or 2 dupes that know how to build mechatronics can focus on that. And maybe do some construction around here. So I've asked for the dupes to take out the atmosuits that have been helpful right here. That may increase the oxygen level a little bit, causing possibly some popped eardrums. So we're going to be careful about popping too many at the same time. Or should I just do it all at once? We're going to build some ladders going across, just to make some construction easier, making sure no one's actually, might as well get rid of that door now. So this is an area that's warm. I worry a little bit. They seem to be okay with the fact that it's warm, but over time, would expect it's going to cool off. Well, we're actually going to put in a cooling system, so that's definitely going to help. Look at some of the automation. Is that... Oh, okay. Let's pause this. Let's disconnect that right there. Let's take that guy out. Do a little bit of mopping. Otherwise, that's just going to contribute to stress. See if any water landed down here. We need to address... yeah, I'm actually no longer operating the polymer press, saving that for some petroleum that I'm going to throw in right there. Noticing this guy is full, we might as well take that, but carefully get the algae out of that room so it's out of the reach of our Pacus. We'll put in this right there to drop off some critter eggs. And making that priority. That can now go. Stress is going up for, okay, that's unfortunate. What just happened there? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's it. That's unfortunate. So, that's actually a ton of liquid, isn't it? All the liquid I've been saving up is now crashing down. And where's that gonna go? I guess down here, which means probably, is there any food in the fridge? There's none. I guess there's no point in, if all that's gonna accumulate down there. That's very unfortunate. Is there a chance? Can't build right there, but I could. This is definitely going to enhance stress, but it is what it is. I doubt this is going to work. I do have the, I just flipped to this at the right moment, / terrible moment. Okay. Okay, boom. So that takes, I mean, doesn't take care of it, but that limits the further liquid drain. Now we have a barracks that's underwater. Let's check the schedule there for Explorer. We've got a little bit of time. Oh my goodness. Yeah, flooding down here. I was expecting that as much. Well, what a mess. Okay, I think the priority should be mopping up in here, though. We should probably let it drain out. Oh, that's so unfortunate. This was meant to be smashed. Yeah, let's not lose a sight of these guys. Want to keep them going. Put that right there. Okay. I need to strategize a bit. So what I'm focusing in is just mopping up the particular eating area here. Put in a buddy bud plant to help reduce stress. 74%. That is just going to continue to go up. I know it. Looking at that, 320. We might as well not waste our time with, oh my goodness, with mopping up when it's just going to drain down anyway. Yeah, Explorer not loving life right now. Taking their breaks so they can at least... they can't use their cot. 80%. Yeah. Oh, idleness over here. Let's not get distracted from the work that needs to happen here. But we must have... Okay, what I'm going to do is click on egg... copy that across here. We should see that egg making its way up. We'll do the same thing in here. Anytime we have eggs in here. Yep, there. That one's being picked up. That one's being picked up. Move over there. I'll put in the automation for the pips. We will complete the automation for the pip egg. Right in here. Again, adding in some water. Storage area or a place to take pips out. Maybe I should make that a slightly higher priority. And oh, wait, right. We need the drop-off spot. I'll put in that after, but let me just grab whatever. Oh, Laura seed or hatch eggs. Let's do some hatch eggs. It's going to be the wild hatches. Can smash this now. That's no longer needed. That was for lead, which is nice. Actually, that's the whole reason. So we kind of sealed this off. Made sure the last time to get that lead out of there. Yeah, this is... It is still draining, but okay. That is going to be what it's going to be. Bunch of mopping up for Explorer to do. And let me just, again, put a high priority in the last little bit of this. And then maybe I'll start the designing of our whole cooling system. Actually, might as well wait for this to be smashed, I suppose. Go ahead and destroy another one of these. I'm almost wondering if I just should destroy them all at the same time. That would actually would only just push. Let's destroy some of this first. I'm thinking this is going to push some of that oxygen over here, so to make this area a little bit more breathable. And rather than every day expose dupes to popped eardrums, we'll just expose them to it once and get it over with. So that will really push in just a crazy amount of oxygen that's uncomfortable. Has a little bit of space to go, though. And technically, we don't even need spots like that opened up. And I think we're about to have, I have to have a look. What kind of stress reaction are we going to get? I think it's unavoidable. I'm hoping it's not a binge eating. Where do I find this out? Hold on, give me a second and I'll find that out. Oh, just seeing here, destructive. So, okay, depending on what gets destroyed, it might not be so bad. And so, we're gonna have to come back to explore and see what they decide to smash. Might as well keep the floor as dry as possible. You know what I might do? I might send courier. Oh, I can't. Never mind. I was going to send courier over there to help clean up. Let's destroy this. And the dupes here. So everyone's essentially mopping up in the next moment. All right, and let's just finish up with this going down there. And this is where we'll have our eggs sent. And put that in. What else is needed? Oh, I think there's a few more touch-ups for the stables. Okay, I have some regret on where I placed this. We're actually going to move... Oh, where's that polluted water coming from? Oh, I asked for some pipes to be destroyed. I didn't mean to. Maybe some of that needs to be repaired. Certainly needs mopping up. But I envision now that I'm thinking about what I'm constructing in this area, a kitchen to go in this area. So we may have to reshape that a bit. We'll do that. And water leaking down here. We need to get that mopped up to maintain stress. Speaking of stress, lashing out. What are you deciding to break? Oh, great. The electric. Well, you know what? Of all the things, well, I'll just ask for that to be destroyed after the fact and we'll rebuild. And you were sleeping on it. That makes sense because your bed is flooded, which, okay, I wonder if I can get now 90% charge. We got to get another dupe over there to help with mopping up, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And speaking of mopping up, we need to do a similar thing here. I am running an automation wire that's going to tell me whether these guys need to be restocked. They don't at the moment. Calories are a little bit low. See that I've asked for some Pacus to be attacked. That guy is fine, but that guy's too low. Gotta raise that. And just to make sure we stay on top of food production, let me just copy this across. So our stress has dropped thanks to the fact that we lashed out. I don't think the electric grill is certainly could have been worse things. Maybe one of these being destroyed would have been. I actually thought that was what was going to happen. Okay, so you're mopping that up. That's going to add to your stress level today, but we need to get that area. Well, we need to get the whole area dry. We need to get the whole area dry over here as well. So fortunately not making as great progress as I think we could have, but that's fine. Just go bypass this. Catching those little liquid pieces at the end. 75%, but we now have our barracks available to us. We gotta get this area dry, otherwise I know that Explorer's just gonna be walking through it all the time. And I'm hoping from this point, the stress will be better. Certainly it's been worse since we've started, and realizing some of these doors don't need to be shut. Okay, a little bit concerned on what the dupes are spending their time doing, because there is lots of mopping up that's just not being done. Let's have a look. Just running around building some of the automation wire that I've asked for. As soon as this is mopped up, I will go back and hopefully finish the automation there with this being twisted to the left. Guess this can now be destroyed. My vision was just to dump some water in there. Of course, this is going to force dupes to get wet to do this construction. Maybe that was not the best idea. And didn't even finish the pipe. And more mopping up for poor old Explorer. Did you ever get over? Whoa, okay, careful. Didn't realize that was going to be there. I will maybe dig down like that way. Exploring along in there. But I think it is now finally dry for Explorer. I think it's also important we put a grill back. I could have just asked for it to be repaired, but this is a surprise. I almost feel like I need to like redo that. Scientists starting some of the cleanup. And unfortunately, yeah, I should have not popped that tile until after this was built. Poor engineer. Not well planned by me. But this is going to, okay, hold on. I guess we don't have power. Why is, destroyed too much. I wish there was a way to say I only want to destroy like building level stuff. So it doesn't do all the wiring and all the other stuff when you want to destroy a bunch of building or tiles. Just make sure we don't have this guy flooding up too much. Let's do this so that we can keep taking in polluted water. Guess we can skip by this system since we are no longer producing plastic. Okay, and with that done, let's design the last little spot here for the pips. Starting to drain that water into that liquid reservoir. And here is the final pip section. So we'll have the pip eggs dropped in here. I guess we can undo part of that little leg, that journey. Don't know if I asked for power. I did not. Okay, and oh, and I guess I did not connect this little section. We'll stop dropping eggs right here then. I think all I need to do is just swap this out, put in a few of the settings. I'm realizing forgot the door too. Over here, I'm going to lock this door and try to prevent this dupe from going into this zone. We're going to make a door here, eventually start pumping this liquid out of there. So if I ever need some material that's dropped off from the other asteroid, we won't have to go get stress from all the liquid to grab it. We're also going to take some of this polluted water, send that back up so that we can produce more reed fiber. Over on this asteroid, you just need to finish up this system here. Realizing we don't have some power for you. And we'll say if you are below 10, open that door to allow some more eggs to be brought over. Some water making its way in there. If I can destroy this, usually I'll let that, or I just don't notice, and I'll let that, I'll ask for that to be destroyed and see what happens. I can always redirect the water if I think it's going to flood. Okay, that worked out nice. Let me just take that out. Put that down there. And I think that is going to be our pip automation. And that should be connected to two of the rooms. Let's see. Maybe we'll try 4 in here. Not looking at eggs. So if you're ever below 4. And we've got a bunch of trees in here. I don't know how many pips exactly, but let's say pip dropped off. See, about 7. I'll see if that number works out. These guys seem to be happy in the moment. Double check that that is connected up here. So if that's going to be the case, looking at critters, if you're ever below 7, run that, make that higher priority thing. And I think the last thing that needs to be done is set this up. And that will be all the automation for our stable. So I won't have to take look after that all the time, which will be really, really nice. Where are we with calories? 28,000. We're good at the moment, but I will ask for a little bit of attack here. Maybe we'll attack there. And I don't want to attack you, but we'll get that, a little bit of meat from there. And I think we're at the point where I can, first of all, let me take this out. And then we can start designing our important system here for maintaining temperature, which I think will be what I'll be working on the rest of the day. Flipping over here, calories are decent. I see we have some thimble regrowing. That's good. I've got to ask for cooking of this. What else? Barbecue meat also would make sense. And seafood too. And I'm realizing one thing I did not do is go to consumables and tell Explorer. I don't think, or maybe I did. No, I didn't. Or yeah, I did. So Explorer's not allowed to eat meat. And they are not allowed to to seafood fillet? Why am I struggling to find that? Oh, yeah, that is that. Oh, no, that's not. Okay, they are not allowed to eat that. Okay, perfect. And this bog jelly, actually, now that I think about that, go to consumables. Bog jelly, that's the input to what we're cooking, right? So let's not allow them to eat that. Swamp delight is what that turns into. Okay, awesome. Well, then I'm going to take a quick little break. And when I come back, I will design this and show you what I got, and we'll start building. Okay, so I am back. Before I go too far, I'm going to do two important things. One, I'm just going to verify that this isn't going to force Explorer to get trapped on the bottom floor. Figure they could do some construction safely from up there. That looks good. The other thing is I forgot to rebuild this, so I see that's now in place. Let's just do all aquatic. That way we can repopulate down there. That's important. Don't see any pip egg. Oh no, that explains it. The pip eggs automatically move over here, so the pip eggs have made it there. Let's check up here. Again, it's the hatch eggs and moving in the right place. That's good to see. And they've done a little bit of cleanup here. So with all that done, I'll get designing. So the first thing I'm going to get these guys to do is to put in a liquid airlock system. We're going to make a vacuum just by destroying tiles. And I think we're going to need more crude oil to finish this project. So we're going to go make some these Atmo suits so that I can go into this oil biome. And maybe if I need it, go down there as well. Stress 91%. I'm curious if Explorer is going to destroy something else in this whole process of them not being super happy. What I might do, just to hopefully maintain. Oh, I already have had an extra hour of sleep. Oh, well, I've opened the doors. You know what? We're just going to attack you, but we will close that to prevent another shine bug. Maybe there's no other shine bugs. Oh, there is. Okay, let's just do that to protect that from happening again. Okay, so this pump taking care of some of the carbon dioxide and I guess natural gas that came from the refinery. 47,000 calories, doing fine there, 17,000. So food's not our issue. Stress is on this asteroid. So these tubes will have a spot where we can go out, grab more oil. See some of the ag automation running. There's a pip ag transporting something down here for us. As long as we need more eggs here, that will be transferred like that. And I'm going to put in a separate place for this just because we're going to have a mix of liquids. And I don't want that to try to send brine into the farming tiles I have here and here. %. Okay, yeah, that is, it has not been a good day for Explorer. Some of the tiles being made down here. Curious, we've got you dormant. You're going to be active in 20 cycles. You're not piled or filled up too much. Might need or could benefit from having another one of those. We don't waste the potential from liquid there. What about the geysers? Oh, I've never analyzed these guys. I guess I can't find out just yet. So I did dig that out. Oh, I did not realize that that caused a bit of a splashback. We better mop up. Start delivering some suits here. It's usually done at low priority, so I'll do that. Just a few more tiles there. And time for some designing. So we've got a couple suits in here. Okay. I've assigned Explorer to go over here and get a pump so we can take advantage of the water that's there. If they can manage it with the stress level they're on. Dupes over here. I'm going to be going in this direction. Going down here. Grab some of this crude oil along the way. Continuing the construction in here as well. $38,000 calories. Make sure these guys are not crowded. Make sure we don't have crowded in here. You're glum though. Might just be one dupe doing all the ranching. Might not be enough, to be honest. Okay, so Explorer's going to go here. This is good because this is going to get this area dry. So if Explorer ever goes in this area, in fact, we're going to do this. We might as well do that too. So that's not going to help with the stress today, but it will help when Explorer comes back here. At least that area is now dry. All right, so leaving Explorer alone for a little bit. While we've got this opened up, we are letting heat in. Why don't we make a priority of getting the installation done first? I think I would like, I don't know, but I would like another dupe. And there's two questions that come to mind. One is, can I afford it? I think I can. The next question would be, what should they specialize? Could be another dupe to do ranching. Or just construction. I think I'm going to hold on just a little bit longer. I don't know if we actually need... Maybe we'll cut that back just a little bit. So doing that, let's try to dig this out in a way that'll be safe. To observe this, otherwise, okay, we'll get miner trapped potentially. Okay, that worked out actually pretty well. And with that, we can go rummage in here and in here. Oh, a good amount of crude oil here. That's awesome. And two snazzy suits. Let's give one out to courier. Maybe a rancher. Okay, so these guys filling some tiles in. As they do that, I'll keep extending that. 85% stress. A little bit of crude oil over here as well. I think between, I don't need a lot. So I have a feeling between here and the little bit that's here will be fine. So maybe not being the case, I will ask for that to be smashed. And we need to start working on piping going from here then. Here is the pipe and wire that I'm going to use to transport this. This might be actually enough with this just one spot. Might as well dig this out, let that crude oil land down here as well. And we're going to make this section the priority. Only a few 5 dupes that can go in there at a time. What's the temperature? Curious if we can... Maybe I'll ask for a little bit more of that to be grown. 77. Okay, I think stress maybe is on the way down. It would be so nice if it is. I was not expecting that. And oh, hey. Cool slush guys are operating. That's nice. That's new liquid coming into the world. Oops. Let's go grab bristleberry maybe. Continue to fill this in as well. Exploring. So we've got some a useful biome over here. A little bit of water. I don't think we need that at the moment, but nice to know it's there. Continuing to watch this. Want to make sure this guy doesn't, we don't waste the potential. Could come from that. So builder, scientist, working on this end of the project. So that's going to go into our oil refinery. We'll store some of that in here. First thing I need that to do is drop in there. I don't want to do that yet until I've got some Atmo suits. Speaking of which, maybe we can go ahead with, making good use of all the lead I've gotten over the last little bit. I don't think we need too many. In fact, you know what? I think even 3 is going to be more than enough. We'll start the process of charging these. Check, make sure everything is good over here. 74% stress level. Let's just flatten that zone right there. Was this the door that was breaking? I think it was, but maybe it's cooled down to the point where, yeah, it's under 75. This is the one that was giving me problems early. I'm actually going to ask for that to be destroyed. In particular, this one. Actually, 75. It might not be an issue, but we'll take it out anyway. Just the pump itself, I believe. Tubes going down this direction. Just in case we need the crude oil there, we'll have the path going down. 69%. Okay, so I'm hoping we're on the downward trend. It was the fact that that gave way. Is there any other risk? Dirt. I don't think dirt is at risk. But you know what? I'm just going to do that. So we're insulating this because this is going to be hot crude oil that we're going to be transporting. Whoa, okay. Actually, I'm not surprised because this is probably the electrolyzer that's running the most often, filling these guys with some oxygen, which is coming at a cost of heat, even the hatch noticing that. I think it's more the electrolyzer than the oil refinery. Let's just verify that Explorer has enough morale. I don't think that's the problem. Stress level. Yeah, they have high morale. Smell the flowers. So that's just making the difference right now. The fact that I did put the effort of getting a Buddy Bud plant in place. I don't think no. Let's do this at a few places where we shower. Use the washroom and eat. Do that like that. And a place that we cross quite often. Maybe we'll do like one there. One there. Just a bunch of places that Explorer can get twinkle toes. Not twinkle toes. Whatever the bonus they get when they walk over carpeted tiles. Okay, so that takes care of our showering. Bonus. We drained all our polluted water that has gone into some reed fiber, but we're making use of that. I've got to make sure that these guys are happy. See some crude oil that's going. Minor. doing some... Oh, what happened here? That was meant to be like that. And I don't think I'll bother insulating, but we'll start off by getting some crude oil sent in right here. I should be careful though, because I don't want to get the dupes wet. Let's hold off. Let's hold off. Make sure that we've got these ready to go, which means we need some power. Figure we're going to need to bring in heavy watt wires anyways, so why don't we just do this? Deliver some suits. Oxygen's lined up. Still more construction for Explorer to do. Other geysers too that we could go look at. Be curious to know. Oh, can't get any further without digging that. I'm curious if I have enough atmospheres. Never question that. We can always take out. We don't need too many dupes going in that direction. Set that at a priority. But I believe this is our crude oil that we will need. I don't know if that... No, it's not actually causing an issue. Let's disconnect that just to be clear. And why is that not... Oh, I see. Probably could have reused some of that, but whatever. Oh. Huh. This is not quite right. What do I need to do? I want you to go there. No. Maybe someone just needs to operate it. Okay, so we're going to ask this to be moved in like that. At this point, then, since we know that the dupes are going to be forced to use atmosuits, perfect. We can ask for this to be transferred. We'll also have to find some water. And this is water lines. This is super convenient. And I believe we would just need to take some insulation across like this. There's some petroleum making its way in there. Might need to destroy, or create and destroy, so that we get that gas out of the way. So we have petroleum on this side, because this side's going to face the hot side. And then water on this side, since it's just going to be facing the base. Okay, so with that, let's destroy that. Could even start destroying more. I just worry about the petroleum. Actually, I think it's going to be fine. I don't want that to get too high because that's going to give me problems. In fact, that being that, just about all the petroleum we had. Any more? No. Okay, so we will need more because that's not the only thing I needed petroleum for. That is part of the equation. Go check on Explorer. 52%. Okay, things are starting to feel a little bit better. Taking advantage of, not yucky, like tickled toesies. Okay. So that's a bit of good news. I never actually checked, did I, to see how many steam turbines I can make? Just one. But one will be enough to get us going. Creating a vacuum here is pointless until we get that water. Enough water in there. Ooh. Where's all our water going? I guess we are consuming it for farming. Power is probably need a second or additional transformer. Yeah, we'll come back to that issue. A little bit of polluted water. Let me just dump that out of the way. 24,000 calories. Probably means we need to do some attacking. Do some attacking in here. Eventually we'll get rid of all the team pips in this zone. They'll all be in this little space. Let's just verify that that is enough. Oh yeah, that's definitely the scent from our Buddy Bud plant actually goes a good distance around. That's nice. Oxyborn seed. Could start to have all this area destroyed, just not the tiles. So we're maintaining a vacuum on the side. Still waiting for more liquid. Start creating a pump. So this is where some steam turbines are gonna go. Metal refinery will be over here. In fact, I'm wondering if I should have... Actually, this is the time to maybe design that. Where I'm gonna be placing the metal refinery. We're gonna use this granite tile here with some aluminum piping, radiant piping, to take it, essentially to transfer the heat that comes out of this guy into this zone. And I've also realized I don't have enough steel to produce this guy here, which I want to put there. So I've asked for a little bit more steel. So we will have to heat up this zone a little bit. Currently 20, just under 30 degrees. We're going to make it hotter than 30, fortunately, but can live with that. 60,000 or almost 60,000 calories. 15 over here. Don't have access to the fridge. Maybe destroy, recreate that so we can get that liquid out of there. Since this guy is empty, we might as well send this there, this there, this there, that type of thing. So we've got some liquid in there. I want to wait. Okay, there it is. With that, go back to, how did I disable this? That must have been the... Okay, there we go. We want to get a vacuum in there. That's also important. And we're going to put a cooling system in here. Not right now, but in the future. We need a little bit more steel. I'm thinking I'd rather get the steel or the metal refinery running in such a way that it doesn't heat up the environment. We'll do that first. Then any future steel we can produce safely without leaking heat, which will be nice. Important insulation tile setting right there. Check on our stables. You guys are happy. You guys are glum, but I think that may just be the fact that we just need another dude to concentrate on stables. I don't know when to start bringing in more dupes. I really don't want this to overflow. Once that hits, what's that, 400 or so, 400 or so. You know what, that's gonna be enough. Let's disconnect that. And I'm going to make a priority of doing construction inside here since there's only so many Atmos suits for that. Here's okay, carbon dioxide. I'm pretty certain this is not going to leak on us. Way it's positioned, but just be absolutely certain to do that. And we will need more crude oil, I'm figuring. So we'll go in here. Dig that out. Make it a little bit easier to get up and down. I want to avoid going in where the zombie spores are. That should be easy enough. So mine are cutting this away for us. Got our vacuum so we can get rid of the pump. Again, I like to make a priority of where the dupes will be wearing ammo suits. And we must be out of reed fiber. So, reed, let me ask for more to be brought over. Since this dupe has taken advantage of that with more carpeted tiles, that has paid off. See, stress is a little bit lower. That's good to see. So very importantly, making sure the insulated pipes are insulated, go in and out with the tiles that are insulated here and here. Just that we don't transfer the heat too much to the local environment. And I think it is time to plan the next pump. So I'm going to source the rest of the petroleum that we'll need. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. This guy here. Outputting some petroleum directly. I'm curious if that's going. I don't think so, but if you send petroleum into an oil refinery, what happens? Does it just pass? I'm hoping it just passes through. It might not. Which, if that's the case, it's a little bit unfortunate. There's not a lot of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get probably V miner that goes up here, and we'll all send all this. That as well. Send that crude oil down so that pump can reach it for us. Not that I need to know at the exact moment, but curious what's in that geyser. I'm pretty certain we are not going to have to go down to get more crude oil. This should be enough. You guys are... Oh no, you're looking fine. Must be big enough area for them. Usually they're in a small area where they become crammed so easily. Okay, these are filling up, which is good news. Maybe I ought to be thinking of getting them a little bit closer to the base. Check on this pipe here. Okay, so Explorer has that built, so we can take advantage of that later on should we need it, which I'm sure we will at some point. Let's place that right... Actually, no, you know what? Let's place that where no piping needs to be updated. Explorer has a smile on their face. Finally, 28%. So the goal of getting Explorer stress level to a manageable point is working out. Just finish some of those ladders. Okay, kind of have to think about what I want to do with Explorer then, now that they actually are in a decent mood. Slowly make our way across like that. Maybe do some digging in here. We never did get that. Did we get that reed fiber? We did. There's reed fiber that exists. Maybe make this a high priority in case we need to do a repair. We are on hard mode, so they are going to be hard on their suits. And I think it is time to oh, you know what? Let's wait for this to be built first. Then we'll design the rest of the metal refinery. I'll make sure it starts to operate. We'll produce a little bit of steel, and I may call it a day. We'll do the deep freezer tomorrow. See this pump finally taking care of the water that's down here. I am going to have to do a little bit of mopping down there. That might add stress, but at 29%. Oh, I see. Maybe with the ammo suit situation, I should do some work over here. Here is the design for the inside of our cooling system. We've got a metal liquid reservoir. Start putting in petroleum. At some point, once that's built, maybe make the reservoir higher priority. We'll only be able to get one steam turbine, but I think we can live with that. Probably going to have to find some more tasks for Explorer to do, which is nice. Currently on break. Getting their stress level going way down. Okay, with that, there's a little bit of risk there of oh, you know what? I think there's still a risk. You can do that type of thing. Curious, that last little bit of steel. Ooh, okay, the last little bit of steel is starting to show up. We're now at 33%. At this point, I really don't want to produce any more down there, and I don't think I have to. Maybe get rid of that since we've got our liquid in place. A little bit of lime. That'll be useful once we turn on the metal refinery. So I want just a little bit more crude or a petroleum to go into this setup, and I think that will be it. I don't need a whole lot, I don't believe. Let's just do this. Get rid of that old piping. Overall temperature starting to not look too good, but once we can produce steel, I can get an aqua tuner, which I'm saving this little spot down here for that. Noticing that last little thing, don't really need that, convert it. Aluminum up to there. We can upgrade this to more aluminum going around if we think it's necessary. But I don't want to produce more aluminum until this metal refinery is ready to go. In fact, you know what? We can even say, hold on. Let's not risk operating that just yet. One thing I did notice is this will be next time, I am going to have to bring in the actual cooling line kind of at this awkward angle, but I think we can make that work once we get to that point. That'll be another day's thing. And carbon monoxide down in this zone. I don't think that's a super big problem. I guess we don't need that technically anymore. Just directly go in like that. I'll have that. Oh, this guy is operating, sending crude oil in. Someone can operate that, and this pipe is built. I guess that's not going to go anywhere just yet. Nor will that do anything either, will it? Yeah, let's do this type of thing. In fact, you know what? We can even have some of it go into the metal refinery for the moment. Explorer going up here, just in case we need more crude oil. Figure that's probably not going to be needed, but it's all right. $25,000 calories. Better do some more attacking. Haven't figured out how I'm going to automate this, though. I kind of want to get away from these Pacus. Where is our algae? 8 tons of algae. That is going to burn up algae, which I don't want to do long term. But changing our food source is something I'm going to do another day. Make a priority of getting anything that needs to be built inside this zone with the atmosuits to be done at higher priority. So there is... Oh, this is not... It's not what I... Oh, that's not right at all. Let's do this type of thing. So let's have a look at the plan. The plan is to send this hot liquid petroleum from here down in here. So at priority, it's going to go in this direction. Going to take that hot stuff into these tiles. That with a little bit of water will create steam. Wrap that a little bit through a little bit more. In fact, actually, I don't know if there's, yeah, it's just a single tile we're not using. That's fine. The petroleum has gone into the metal refinery. Okay, so that is all lined up. Might be a little bit of confusion in the line. When we do that, that can now go. But I might need to disconnect that. Yeah, that would make sense. Right now, we just have the one steam turbine. But once we get more plastic, speaking of which, I had disconnected this. Maybe that was, it's time to get a little bit back into that business. Sending this down and then back up again, like I used to. And we've got, okay, I got to find a task for Explorer. So I'm going to allow Explorer to open this door. It should start mopping up. Okay, it is a bit of a large amount. Not all the liquid, unfortunately, was able to make it to the pump. Pump helping out the last little bit is kind of the brine goes away and polluted water can reach. But we're at 4% stress, so I'm not too worried. See petroleum making its way through here. I don't want this to get too much in there. I want to save a bit for plastic production. I think we need that more than that, though. But it's looking good. This is looking dry in here. And we have this. Maybe let's take that out. Build a pump in there to get rid of that last little bit of liquid. No need to try that. In fact, I don't think we even could mop that up. There's too much. And I'm just going to build this way, just to avoid the that tube from stepping in here. I'm hoping they're not going to step in there. All right, so more petroleum. I think we're pretty much done. I'd like to do a little bit of testing, and then we may just call it a day. Just to finish up, why don't we put in a little bit of automation for the metal refinery? We've got the lighting, but it'd be nice to automate the inputs. Maybe reroute this heavy watt wire going around. Make room for some storage. And the other thing is I wanted to resolve the issue with the, well, maybe it's not an issue at the moment, but we're going to take heavy watt wires for this pump and this pump, so that won't have to run off of a transformer. So we did get the goal of getting Explorer a little bit less stressed out. Happy about that. Noticing this is, oh, I had to shoot, forgot. This actually is something we might want to put back in. Think of that. Make that a priority. Kind of assume this was going to be the last plastic this guy would produce, but I want a little bit more. We'll have a separate system for producing. Well, actually, eventually, we'll get our Dracos here converted over to Colossi. How are you doing? Elderly. But we do have 2 Draco eggs, so that's good to see at least. Okay, so we've given Explorer lots to work on. I'm not really too worried. I'm almost thinking just to avoid the risk of them getting their completely drenched, let's concentrate on that pump. So I will ask for some of the inputs to steel. Not lime. Lime. And carbon. Refined carbon. The other one is iron, which I'm going to put in that guy. Some of the wiring upgrade going on here. Get rid of the old wires. Okay, I don't know that that was a good enough place for that. Might not have been. Since I see a little bit of water on this side. In fact, maybe we'll, you know what, let's just go over like that, just to be safe. Yep, can see that did not work out well. Let's put that there, take that out. How about the hydrogen situation? Hydrogen is good. There is our heavy watt wires. Done for that. Eventually this is going to wrap in there for the cooling system, but that will be another day. Let's put in iron. And iron ore, that's right. So we'll want to produce that. I'll ask for some iron. I'll ask for some steel. Remind myself next time not to make metal with this guy. Let's get rid of that. So we don't make that mistake and add in more heat. Kind of done enough damage with that. We need to add in some liquid water. We need that there first of all. Dump some water in by that setup. How's our petroleum level? I think that's going to be enough. I will get a little bit more. Actually, kind of running out. I forgot, apparently, plug that guy in. You know what? I'm just curious whether that petroleum is going to cause an issue. Let's find out today. So if I see some petroleum landing here, we'll know it's an issue. If I don't see that, I'll assume it passed through safely. My guess, it is going to be an issue. If I got some extra time, we'll start insulating. That's actually going to be the Tuesday's project. No, wait. This will be, that'll be Thursday. Technically, it's Monday night at the moment. Oh, I was like, what happened here? That was intended. Oh, yep. Okay. So that is an issue. Do not put petroleum in your oil refinery. Looks like, probably want to do some filtering, but you know what? I'll do that next time. I can see that we don't have any more crude. So the rest of that can go in this setup, and then we're going to seal that off. We also have to decide how much water we want in there. We need more than that. They even ask for a little bit of aluminum to be created. Oh, the output. That's not going to actually work unless we do this. And that and that. Wait, now, wait. I can see I forgot something. The part I forgot was this section right there. Okay, we'll see if that's enough petroleum. We'll save the rest of it for producing plastic. That's probably produced heat, yeah. But we do have a cooling system on, and I just noticed that, whoops, I've been operating on a single hydrogen generator for a long time. Whoops. No. What? Okay, first of all, what happened? Did I destroy that tile and not notice? Oh, that is okay. Fortunately, we have a pump down here, but I might just leave it to be next day's problem. You know what? Yep. So next time, that's going to be the first thing I have to address. Other than that, I guess a little bit of tidying up. Let's just look at this and make sure all the pieces at least seem like they're going to work. And we'll ask for that to be knocked back. So liquid's going to come out of here. It's going to go into that, wrap around, go into this, and then once this is built, we'll be able to resupply that. I also need to make sure I don't add too much water. So what I might do is just disconnect this. That maybe that'll be enough. Oh my goodness, though. Next time, I'm going to okay. The good news is stress level of Explorer is low, but it's not going to be low for long. I probably will want to send another dupe to try to resolve this. Okay, yeah. You know what? That's next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully, I see you next time playing a little bit more Oxygen Unclid. Till then.